All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, Mr. Daniel Puerto, our Brad and Kyle membership coach, is going to be coaching yours truly. And why are we doing that? Because we're 1 month out from tour, and there are just some things that I need to work on. In fact, you told me yesterday, hey, Brad, I got some stuff for you to work on. So there are technically 2 things we're gonna work on in this video, and Daniel's going to explain why they're a big deal and why they can make me a better bowler. So those 2 things is gonna be the balance arm and the position of it, and then the thing that I've struggled with my whole life, which is the trail leg and the position of that at the foul line. And we were talking yesterday, and you noticed the position, and I changed the position of my balance arm, and some things changed quite a bit on how I released it. So I want you to go into that a little bit. What about the position of the balance arm makes things flow smoother?
So one of the things that happens to your game and to everybody's game is that we have always a cause and effect, and our body parts are connected. Those 2 things are logical and true, right? Now, we're gonna talk about kinesiology a little bit. That is the science of your brain knowing where your body parts are. So in your case, talking about cause and effect, what I watched yesterday is that I saw you go after one, right? And go after it means like really rev it up, really power up.
Aggressive.
And as soon as you did that, I saw the trail leg knee, the right knee, go towards the back of your left knee. So your trail leg bent a little bit, went forward into the back of your left knee, which means your hip is going forward as well. You can't move your hip, your knee forward without moving your hip.
Yeah, and coming off last year, my worst pretty much year on tour ever, I was doing that a lot. You know, you're against the most powerful bowlers in the world. You want to get aggressive, but when I was getting aggressive, lots of body parts were moving in kind of incorrect spots.
Like we were saying, we're just trying to help it. You're trying to power up. So then when I watched your right knee do that, then I started looking, when you were bowling, I started looking, well, why is he doing that? And I noticed that your left arm, when your left hand leaves contact with the ball, your left arm is going a bit to the outside and then back to the correct position. Well, if you watch my shoulder movement, right? If your left arm is going open and then back close, my right shoulder went with it. Now, as your bowling ball is traveling to the top of the swing, it doesn't mean that it didn't travel to the top of the swing. It means that it didn't travel to the top of the swing as efficiently as possible.
Right.
Because if your left arm and left shoulder are going open, watch my right shoulder, it's coming with it. So now your right shoulder can't open as efficiently as it could, which robs you a little bit of the power you need, and you're trying to generate that power with your legs, and your trail leg yips, it goes forward.
Like power and proper shape as well too, because when this arm goes back, you close your angles down a little bit, and oftentimes the times you're trying to get the most powerful is when your angles are the biggest. And if you shut this shoulder down, you're not gonna create the right angle. And all year, I'm missing down lane, down lane, down lane, 210, 210, 210.
Or you get to your
10,
target,
10,
but you can't get it to come back.
And
you
I'm
get to where
thinking,
you want it to get, but you can't.
And then I try and prevent the 210, knee into the knee, too many moving body parts, 5 through the middle, and I could not quite control what I was doing, essentially.
This morning, when you were doing those really big stretches with your torso, and we were able to move that power source from down below to your torso, and you were doing it, immediately your trail leg stayed straight. And I showed you on a video.
And I can't feel it. I mean, you can if you practice it a lot, but that's how subtle these things are.
And we're gonna use a little tool to help you feel it, to help you connect the dots between your brain and your body parts and where your body parts are.
Okay, and actually I wanna show them. So this is essentially a weighted, what do you call this?
A wrist weight.
Wrist weight.
They're super common. And,
Got it off Amazon. And so what this weight does is it allows the brain to feel your arm a little more. You're not used to the weight on it. And so when there's a lot of movement, what do you think this is, a couple pounds?
Well, it was originally 2 pounds, and I took half of it out, so that's a pound.
1 pound. So when you add a pound to your arm, all this movement feels exaggerated, and you can just feel your arm a little better. So I'm gonna apply this. Great tool. You mentioned this yesterday, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever done this.
Yep.
So, okay, so we're gonna throw some shots here, and just to clarify, I was going in front of me at the beginning, kind of as I'm walking, close down, and then in order to open back up, I gotta swing this back open just to get that transfer of energy. We're gonna keep it out in front of us the whole time. Extend these muscles.
These muscles right here, yeah.
So extension here, and then the transfer of energy at the line goes extension here.
Think of it this way. If you were swimming and you're trying to swim as fast as you can. You would extend the arm and grab as much water as possible, right? And pull that water, and then extend the other arm and pull that water. That's why swimmers have such large shoulders and backs, right? That's where you feel it, right here on your smaller muscles around your rib cage. That's kind of what you want to feel, that swimming motion and that dragging. And when your left hand leaves contact with the ball, just throw that left hand right where it needs to be, instead of going open and then back close and then switch.
Okay.
Just go straight to it.
All right, so I'm gonna throw a shot how I was like kind of previously throwing it.
Right, let's take that off.
I'm not gonna think about it, and then we're gonna see kind of just what the ball reaction looks like. We also have a pattern out here that is kind of really slick to the right, so it can really expose. If I don't do something right, the ball reaction's not gonna be as good. So I'm happy we have kind of a tough pattern now. All right, so normal shot here. I'm not gonna think about my balance arm. I'm just gonna. And I've actually been kind of working on it a touch past day or so, so that might not have been as much transfer, but we want the transfer of energy to be at the line. If I'm starting to transfer energy in my third step, then I gotta untransfer and then load up again. As I said, you know, my ball reaction all year last year was just too far down the lane. I couldn't get it to roll early properly. So that shot obviously went way too far down the lane. So I'm gonna throw one more without the weight. All right, so we clearly have a slick pattern out. This is a pattern we actually bowled on last year, and this is the exact struggle I have when I'm doing these things is the ball goes too far down the lane, and now we gotta figure out how can we get it to hook earlier properly.
You know what's funny about working with you guys, professional bowlers? So earlier today, you threw about 5 or 6 shots working on this. And that first shot you threw,
It was hard.
Your left arm was already better.
I felt
You were already fixing it.
I almost had to like tell myself, like, throw it back there.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Actually, it should be to the outside.
And I'm really gonna like keep my arm in front of me and extend it as much as possible until I get to the line. And then we're gonna see what kind of whip we can get, what kind of transfer of energy that doesn't necessarily transfer into just ball speed, transfers into roll and power.
What we're looking for the untrained eye, what we're looking for is the result on the bottom side of the body. If the bottom side of the body is trying to help you, the right leg is gonna collapse a little, is gonna come towards the back of the left knee. If the transfer of energy was correct, the trail leg will stay nice and straight, very, very far away from you.
Even if I try to be as aggressive as possible, right? Like the trail leg just sticks there.
Yeah, if you use the upper torso and have your torso participate into the rotation exchange between non-throwing arm and throwing arm, then your right leg can stay quiet and in place, and you can still go after it with everything you got.
Yep.
Good luck.
All right. All right. 1 pound weight on the wrist, keeping it all the way in front of us until the last second, and then we have a nice transfer of energy. I mean, I can just like, it didn't translate into a ton of ball speed. Like I can get my hand in a position that rolls it instead of just pushes it. And before when it would just push it, if I got more aggressive, I just pushed it more. And then my knee's collapsing and I'm pushing the ball. Whereas that, I can get aggressive and my lower body stays quiet and the ball rolls. It's like, dang, I can do that.
Let me give you a tip on how to think about this, how to visualize doing this when we're not around you helping you. A minute ago, you threw the ball, you threw it great, I went behind you, and what I'm looking for is very simple. When from the back view of the bowler, all I'm looking for is to not see your left arm at all.
Yeah.
From the back view, your left arm should not be visible, should be totally in front of your torso. Your torso should cover the left arm, and the left arm should only be viewable once the bowling ball starts coming down from the top. That's when the exchange happens correctly. You did it phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a couple more and we're just gonna see how well I can do this.
All right.
Again, we have a really slick pattern out, and sometimes being aggressive can be hard, but doing it properly creates good ball motion. I didn't do it. So that's the thing about bowling is you can do something well once or twice. You can have a coach tell you exactly what to do, and one day you can be really good at it, and the next day you're not. That goes for shot to shot as well. So when you're out there working on things like this, and you're getting advice from a coach or whatever, yeah, you gotta have the time with your coach, but then you also have to put in quite a bit of time perfecting it.
Yep.
And so that one, I made sure that my arm's like out in front of me the whole time. I missed long, I missed right, and it actually almost came back. I mean, it actually got to the head pin, whereas the one before did not. I mean, immediately, you can tell a difference just by the position of this bounce arm. Okay, so difficult pattern, really slick, but even that, I was able to get aggressive, balls rolling, difficult pattern, but ball was rolling well without a whole lot of weird movement here. When you can get to that position at the foul line where it's really steady, you can be aggressive, there's a nice transfer of energy there. Ah, the ball reaction. You become two completely different bowlers. And just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna spare this. No, I'm not. Well, you should always make your splits out there when you're 210, like I've done a lot the past couple of years.
You're gonna stop now?
We are. No more 210s. We're gonna turn those into strikes. So Daniel, thank you for that advice. I mean, it's
Thank you for allowing me to help you.
I can't tell you how important just another eye can be. We've been doing this forever, and you can get yourself into habits that you just don't know, you don't feel, and just having someone solid like you just mention, hey, this little thing can actually have a dramatic effect on the rest of the shot. That's just really important.
You did amazing. Obviously, you're a trained bowler, and you were able to pick this up very quickly and understand it very quickly. For the rest of us mere mortals and amateurs, this is actually a pretty difficult exercise. This is what I would consider to be more of a pro-level type lesson. So if this is something that you want to start working and incorporating into your game, my recommendation to you is that to be patient. Very, very patient with yourself. Brad could do it in a matter of 3 to 5 shots. The same thing happens when I'm working with Kyle. We have a conversation about something and he's able to accomplish it in a couple of shots. You guys are pros. So for you guys, guys and girls out there, be patient with yourself when you're trying this.
All right, so that's the video on those 2 tips. And I'm gonna be honest, Kyle has always had heavier ball roll than me. He's always got his ball into a roll earlier. And there was a day where I saw a video of him have this massive transfer of energy at the line. And then I saw a video of myself and I didn't have near that amount. And it kind of just, duh, all right. You know, if Kyle's doing that and he can create big hook, why don't we try something similar? And then voila, it actually kind of fits into my game. So thank you guys for watching that video. We appreciate you guys. Hit the like and subscribe. We'll see you later.